and we've got the head coach for Charleston, Maggie Mrowka, joining us. Coach, congratulations. What has this thrill ride been like for the last, I mean, I know you were on staff for a couple of years, but since taking the job to now reaching a goal you probably set from the jump when you accepted?
Yeah, can you guys hear me?
Oh, yeah.
It's been unreal. It's awesome. I got here 2 years ago as an assistant and fell in love with the city and the potential of what could be, and the idea of that, kept me up at night every night thinking about like what could really be possible here. And then this past season, really 2 summers ago, getting a lot of transfers in and being able to kind of have a lot of control on that, and creating a team that really felt like my own as well, and players that really fit my style of play. And then being able to become the head coach this summer, obviously putting all the control into my lap, which was awesome. And then really having a connection with all the girls to start off, put us in a good place in August, when the girls came back. Just like being able to already have those relationships. I had a part in pretty much everybody's development or recruitment up until this point, and then being able to put into play all my assistant coaches' philosophies and my philosophy. It's just been awesome. It's just been such a blessing.
And Coach, I want to ask you about your style of play. If you take a look at what the statistics show, there's a lot of running that happens. What is, when you're taking a look at the athletes, and if you were describing your style of play to the country, what would that be?
I think the biggest thing that we've talked about since the very beginning, and when I was interviewing assistant coaches and trying to find the right fit, we talked a lot about, girls love to follow rules. And in softball, you think back to like the travel days when they would make that rule where it was like, okay, time's out, time's expired. The last out is going until they get tagged. So then you just keep running around. That's kind of the mindset that I've thought about forever, is like, how can we cause the most chaos under control? We're under control, put pressure on the other team. I think that kind of alleviates if we're playing a very talented team like we will this weekend, being able to take control by gaining pressure and putting pressure on them. And our running game has been a big thing in conference, especially for us, knowing that if we have speed, and even if we just have average speed, getting those runners to learn how to be really good and aggressive runners, reading pitches, reading balls in the dirt, reading hops, all that kind of stuff. And that's really been able to put a lot of our runners in scoring position, and then giving our stronger bats the ability to actually get those RBIs. And that's why I think it's so consistent throughout our lineup too. We may not have that many home runs, but we've been able to score runs and have a lot of different people get RBIs just because we're taking advantage of anything that we can.
I have to ask you about the path to get here, winning the CAA tournament. Oh, hi.
One of our baseball coaches.
Practice is about to start, so it's okay.
So Hofstra kind of cooked in the regular season, going 21-3 and putting together the type of year that they had. And to get to this point, you had to beat them twice, and you had to go through a bunch of really good teams in your conference to win the tournament this week and to get to this point. What was the mindset in the room that kind of helped you and the coaching staff and the players believe and buy in to the point where you were able to get those wins against some of those teams that had great regular seasons?
Yeah, I mean, every single thing that we have done since day one as a team, we had our first team meeting in, I think, the second week of August, and we had a picture up of Elon with the trophy, and we were just like, this is going to be us, and everything we're going to do from this moment forward is about this and this moment, and figuring out how we can turn ourselves into a program that is going to consistently be in that position. And, I had printed out the stats of teams similar to us, or similar to the CAA, that had won their conference, and what their fielding percentage, batting average, RBIs, stolen base, what those looked like in comparison to ours from last year. And then what would put us in a really good position to be a competitor for a conference championship. And statistically, like, what does that really look like as a fielder, as a hitter, as a group overall in a lot of different categories. And then we had that up on our board for pretty much the whole preseason, whole fall season. And every day we're working towards little things. We had a focus of every single practice, every single team meeting. Had a lot of really hard practices. We turned it up once the season started. We started lifting more. We started running more. We started having really tough practices that the girls did not like, and they told us they didn't like them. And we just kept reminding them that all of these things, right now we're not the best team that we're going to be. And, championship teams get better as the year goes on, and they're the best once postseason comes. And so we're still working towards that and working on ways to get better. So when we got to the tournament, I just reminded them that, we've worked so hard, and I would really highly doubt anybody we're going to play has practiced as many times as you guys and thought about this as many times as you guys and want it as bad as you guys. And whoever's going to win this weekend is who wants it just a little bit more. And we're definitely prepared to want it and to get it, but it's going to be putting it all together at the right time. And we just kept talking about that, and that we were prepared, and if we owned it, that we would get there and we would be in a really good position to do so. So it was just reminding them of all the things that they had done and that they had earned it and that they were going to be just fine. And fearlessness kept coming up, faith kept coming up, and just having fun kept coming up.
And I want to ask about the pitching staff led by Mackenzie Mathis in the final, pitch a complete game shutout with 13 strikeouts, 2-hit shutout. What has the pitching staff been able to do this year, obviously with Mathis really leading it?
We have 8 pitchers on our team, so we have a big staff, and we've gotten a lot of people into games, gotten a lot of people with a lot of innings, and we've talked since the beginning about how important every single person is going to be in us reaching these goals. I think Mackenzie and Riley Cutter have been like really big names in that staff in terms of just being consistent and reliable for us over the past 2 years even. And then we've had a lot of other people who've been able to step up in different moments, like Kendall Thaxton to this tournament, and just didn't get as many innings, but were just lights out when they did get the opportunity. And Mackenzie and Riley just really inspire everybody around them to be like that and to continue to get better and work at a really high level. So, Mackenzie in the conference tournament is a completely different Mackenzie than we've ever seen before, even, which is awesome. It's a great time to do that. I don't know if you guys were able to watch any of it. She just was absolutely electric and is a psycho. And so we've kind of in the best way, I'm a psycho too. I know that. But just inspiring all of them to try and play their hardest and just play their hearts out and let the emotion go and just have fun. And I think that's kind of what she embodies. And then she brings that out of everybody around her. And that's kind of how we just rolled through this tournament too. It was just we were the loudest team there and the most obnoxious team there, and that's okay.
Sometimes that's what you need. I co-sign all that. I also am a psycho, and softball sicko mode is one of my favorite modes to be in, which we will all be in this weekend as we track the regionals. I've got one more. I cracked the joke about traffic in Charleston. That's just it just took a long time to get to the golf course once. But I want to ask about the city and how much that has helped you build this program. Charleston is one of the biggest cities that's growing each and every year. Everyone's going to visit it. Everybody loves it. How much has that helped as you have brought in people and as you continue to try and craft your vision of what this program can be?
Oh my gosh. It's the number one recruiting tool I could ever be given. And it is what it is. And it gives our girls something to be very proud of. And they talk about it all the time. They're like, who wouldn't want to be here? We've got the beach. Our girls leave practice and go to the beach every day. I'm having to have practice in the middle of the day so they're not getting sunburned. So it's it's just an awesome place to be. The downtown area, all the local places, the people are awesome. And everybody's just happy here. It just is the truth. When I moved here, I moved from Northern Virginia, and I was like, oh my gosh, everybody's smiling and is so just happy to be alive. And I think that just radiates into the girls. And when we get people on a visit, we always say if we can get them to campus, that's the hardest part, is just getting them here. And then once they're here, it's really hard for people to say no. And now with like the legacy that these girls, especially like our senior class, has been able to leave and is continuing to create, and being so proud of where they are at and wanting to stay here forever, and just knowing like the magic that's here, it just kind of sells itself in that regard. And the people are so into it, and like our athletic administration and the school itself and everything just has so much history. It just has really everything. I can't even believe it that I'm here. So
well, you're doing a fantastic job. Year one as the head coach, again, assistant for a couple years, but to be a part of this run, I'm sure is magical for you. And many congratulations on winning the CAA, off to the Athens Regional, and best of luck in the postseason. Best of luck moving forward. You're fantastic, and we can't wait to see how Charleston continues to grow.
Thank you so much. Me too.
Charleston head coach Maggie Mrowka joins us. Thanks, Coach.